Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marvel Bishop, and you're now listening to and watching the NoWayButUp podcast. Thank you for the viewership. Thank you for the Facebook viewership, the YouTube, the LinkedIn, Instagram, everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. As I always say, today is a special day. I have a very special person. A person who's actually becoming a decent friend of mine, even though she's a Scorpio, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Season.
Well, excuse me. Don't say anything until I actually
OVO.
introduce you. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Miss Shan Moreno.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm grand.
All
How
right,
are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Number one, thank you so much for coming. I really
course.
appreciate you. All right, so actress, director.
Hopefully soon.
Okay. Aspiring director, basically, right?
Yes.
Writer too? Do you do?
I'm an actress first, writer second.
Okay.
Hopefully in the future.
Okay.
Director.
Okay. Cool. So I believe I met you about a year ago, right?
It was definitely a year
About
ago.
a year ago, and there was definitely had a great conversation. There's definitely things, even though I didn't really know you, there's definitely a lot of things I felt like you were definitely destined for great things.
Oh, thank you.
So I really feel that there are a lot of things to you. There's not just one thing that I could just put my hand on. You know what I'm saying? But with that whole versatility, with that whole entire mantra that you pretty much bring to the table, like where does that all come from? Like, let's just talk about your backstory, because I feel like there's definitely a lot to you. So where does that derive from?
What, the hustling?
Everything, just Shan Moreno, basically, like the whole entire diversity and the all the dope different things that you have. Like, where does that come from? Like your backstory.
Well, I'm originally from Miami, Florida. There's a lot of diversity in Miami, period. So it's kind of rooted in me.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to juggle all things that I love and all things that I have a passion for, because I don't believe that I have just one passion, comes natural for me because I grew up in a household where everything was told like, this is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw my father go from being in the projects to being, successful in his own mind and his own will. So everything is possible if a Puerto Rican man from the projects in Miami can get out of that and provide for his new family. So I've always known that these things, like, the world is in my hands, and I can mold it which in however way I want to. But being able to balance all of like the things that I want to do, it just comes.
Does the arts and the whole entire creative side, is that really in like your family's background?
Absolutely not.
Because I feel that you
No.
are like an anomaly when it comes to like your family in that.
Absolutely. What comes from my family is like, people of my family are very practical, analytical. So me being this extremely expressive being is like, where you come from, right? I mean, they pushed us into sports, and that's in a sense a very.
What sports did you play?
I played basketball.
Nice.
And then I boxed a little bit, and I ran track off season for basketball, which I hated, but it was bomb for what it did.
Okay.
But they put us in sports to keep us out of the streets. They put us in sports, and even sports taught me a lot about the real world, and knowing that you have to be a team player, and knowing that to win, it's not always about you. But going back to the question at hand, we were put in sports, and that's just to, like I said, keep us out of the streets. We were put in sports to teach us lessons, and we were put in sports because it's the easiest way for them to be able to work and, keep us safe. Also a practical thing to do as a parent. I really stumbled into this art thing after high school.
So what was like what was the catalyst? Like, what was the first thing that you did as far as art wise? And also, what was the first thing that basically like, yo, this is something that I wanted to do. I want to do for the rest of my life.
Well, my first sport was dancing when I was young, but I didn't appreciate it then. Then I got into high school, and I was reintroduced to like my many facets of, talents as far as like I used to sing in talent shows. I used to dance in talent shows. I wanted to be the next big girl group.
Okay.
Like I was like, oh, we have to get together and do this and do that. Like all for these talent shows. Then people started moving away. Then it's like, you gonna do this to the squad?
Says the person who is not in Miami anymore, but that's fine. Okay.
I'm like, you gonna do this to the squad? I thought we were doing this. Tell your parents to chill out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why y'all moving?
Mhm.
But it went from dancing when I was really young to like a dry period of just sports. And then, music came along, and then media broadcast came along where I was just like, I want to be like Felicia Monet. Like, looked up to her. Shout out Felicia. I wanted to have a voice. I wanted to be someone that this city respected. And then I got into acting, and acting really came to me because I was not looking for it at all.
I think sometimes callings doesn't really, like, you don't actually go for the callings. Callings actually do find you.
Absolutely.
And once it actually does find you, it's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, cool.
That's exactly how it hit you. Like, it hit me dead in the face. Like, oh my God, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, am I in love all over again for this facet of life? Like, I love this. And it's so ever changing and so ever growing, and it's so ever challenging. And I love that. The thing is with, I really wanted to be doing this. I really wanted to be on radio, maybe a TV correspondent of some sort. And once I felt like I mastered that, I was like, there's no more to this. Now it's a cap on me. What more do I have to offer? What more do I do besides interview artists or interview people with up and coming projects, whether they're movies or books or this and that? Like, it's kind of like the same story told all over again. And I felt capped. So when
this
I found,
is that like the reason why you moved? The first move.
I moved to Georgia because I got accepted into Georgia State University.
Oh, okay.
And I was still on my radio thing.
Nice.
Georgia State University, Ludacris went there. Lala Vasquez went there. Like, I was like still chasing it. And then to bring in extra income, I started as a movie extra, a TV extra, just to bring in extra income to help my moms out. And then another reason why, this is so bad. Another reason why is because they have crafties on set, and they have like set food. And if it's not eaten by the end of the day, they throw it away.
Oh, really?
Because they can't give it to any homeless people or any people in need because if they have an allergy and something
it's kind of illegal, honestly, to do that.
Exactly.
It's a good thought, but it is illegal.
Exactly. Yeah. Me, I was like, oh, my people need to eat.
Yeah.
So definitely. I used to just bag all of the like food up and like take it home, and we would eat like that. But I started off like that, and it wasn't until the All Eyes on Me movie, when I was on set as an extra, I hopped off of the shuttle bus that took me to the set, where I was approached by the director, and he introduced me to the producer, and then they introduced me to their AD, which is their assistant director, and they gave me a huge part in it. And then ever since then, I've just been like...
How did that feel? Like your first
I didn't think it was real. I was just like, I'm here trying to get some money on the side.
Yeah, I got
I'm trying to help my moms out. I'm trying to basically steal food from crafties so we can eat. Let me pocket this real quick. I don't know when the next time she gonna cook.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and I skipped a whole week of school for it.
Really?
I skipped a whole week of school just to shoot that day. And when it happened, I was just like, that was amazing. This is what life is. Like, I had my own trailer. I was being taken care of. I was one of the stars. And then,
as an extra, being one of the stars.
Seriously.
Hey, you can't make that shit up, yo.
You can't.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I am a movie star. They've given me a principal role. I am the bomb. And when it was over, I knew I wanted to chase that high again. So I started taking it even more seriously. I was like, let me figure out what this industry is really about, and what this industry, where I can fit in. And I just started studying it ever since then, and writing my own stuff, being a part of other people's projects, always being on set, always shaking hands with people, meeting the right people, staying away from the wrong people, and all that good stuff. That's really how it happened.
Let's talk about the wrong people. Let's talk about the wrong people. Well, not necessarily just the wrong people. So One
The
thing I
people
learned
to
about
avoid.
yeah, so one thing I've learned about you is that you have a big vetting process in people letting people in. Now, for an industry that is somewhat, I mean, let's just say it, somewhat coy, somewhat fake,
Mhm.
for a person who's just as real as you, that don't really trust as many people as some people that they need to when it comes to this realm.
Mhm.
Like, what kind of advice or like how do you better question, how do you move in a room full of vultures?
Okay. I think you make a good point to my skepticism.
Mm,
I am a very skeptical person, so it's hard for me to trust. And that's also just coming from Miami and coming from
mhm.
a
Yeah,
family full of like,
hard knocks,
you know what I'm
honestly.
saying? It's
Yeah,
like we
yeah, I got
barely
you.
trust each other
Mhm,
sometimes. Um, so when I'm in this industry that is full of a lot of vultures, and
mhm,
being that I'm a woman and being that I look the way that I do, they do try and take advantage of you. How I avoid it is educating myself,
mhm.
not letting anybody tell me what I can't do that I've already researched that I can do. Reading up on all the amazing things that are happening, I stay in that tunnel vision mode, and anything that interferes with that is a
Yeah.
distraction.
Mhm.
And I avoid that at all costs. Now, it's not to say that I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm trying to. No, I don't know who I'm talking to, and I don't know what it is that what your place is in the
Because
industry,
that industry is very cutthroat and very
and it's
blackmailish. Yeah.
very small.
People, everybody know each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The person that you're like, trying to avoid
Could kill your
may
career.
know the one person who can definitely kill your career. So you
Yeah.
have to sort of play the game smart, play
Mhm.
your cards right, and, you know, go with the flow, but stay true to who you are. Keep
Mm.
your identity at all costs. Don't let these people change you for nothing. And it's so easy to be, I guess, turned out because you're seeing things. Well, I'm seeing things that I've never seen before that
Mhm.
are attainable,
Mhm.
that are in some people's lives everything that they want. I'm seeing I'm meeting people that my parents grew up watching. And it's like, oh God, this is
Mm.
but you can't get starstruck when you are a star in your own industry too. Your time is not now, but when that turn comes around, you will be, and somebody will be like gawing over you. But trying not to get distracted and remaining true to who you are, because the moment that you flip to who you are, coming from who you weren't, because you were trying to play the game and be fake with fake people, they're gonna
Mhm.
call you out. And the moment that you stop doing what they're used to, they're gonna cut you off.
Have you had any experiences with people, contemporaries, no names, just people who you've seen as like damn, like why are you doing that? Like why are you like you could be actually keeping true to yourself, but you think that you have to pretty much, 'cause a lot of people think that when it comes to Hollywood that you pretty much have to sell your soul to
You don't.
basically get you. And I feel like you don't,
You don't.
honestly. You can just pretty much stay true to yourself. And what's honestly what's for you is for you. So if you had
Absolutely.
any experiences with that, as far as just people just like they're seen one way and then like you're really close to them, and especially you've been doing like, films and work with them, and then like they think then they just switch on you just to pretty much elevate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's a part of I don't take it personally.
Hmm.
It's a part of the journey. It's a part of me learning what to who to allow in my space,
Yeah.
who to take seriously, and who
Hmm.
to um give my time to.
Hmm.
It's a lesson to me. I'm not
Hmm.
chasing anybody. I'm not here to chase anybody. I'm
What's your
chasing my purpose and my
what's
dream.
okay? So what is your purpose?
My purpose is to inspire people through the
Mm.
stories that I'm able to inspire. Whether it's my personal story, whether it's a story of a character, whether it's a fictional, non-fictional story, I'm here to let people know that it's okay to escape sometimes. That whole
Mhm.
2 hour being in a theater watching a movie, I grew up going to the theaters. I grew up watching movies and TV shows, and that was all to escape things that like reality was hitting me with.
Mhm.
So if I can do that for a handful of people and let them like bring them into my world, I'm doing my job and letting them know that their stories that are similar to what stories I'm portraying are necessary and important, so important that they're on the big screen in front of you. that you can remain true and take the right steps, I guess, in life.
So we're kind of fast forwarding a little bit because you actually said something very, very important as far as like captivating and pulling people into what you
Absolutely.
do. And I've seen some of your work, and honestly, before we did this interview, I definitely had to do my research. And there's one thing that definitely not resonates, but I guess that really pulls me because I feel like out of all the people that you pretty much work with in certain films, like you really do shine. Like you really do like elevate to a level where a lot of people pretty much can't. And where I'm pretty much going at is break the silence.
Yeah.
So in the last podcast the last podcast I've seen you do in LA, Can't Be Trusted podcast, right?
Yep, shout
out to him. You were talking about the film and like how you pretty much prepared yourself.
Yeah.
And you did a phenomenal job. But the thing that I don't understand is that you have never experienced
domestic abuse. Never
in your life.
I'm too hard for that.
Yeah, I feel like you ain't like. First of all, like you ain't with the shits when it comes to that. You ain't the one. You are not the one when it comes to that.
Yeah, not to say that these women aren't, but like
of course. But yeah, but okay. So
I have brothers.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that's like really. I was like, damn, like you did such a great job. I'm like, where did that come from? Can you please explain that to me? Like, how did you even prepare for that? Because I feel like great actors can basically pull out of nothing to make something, but also great actors can pull from past experiences, use that in their film, and elevate themselves to the next level. And I feel like you did that regardless.
Absolutely.
So like how? Like I don't even know what I'm asking honestly, because like it is so puzzling that how like you can just have such a great role and such a powerful. Like listen, man, when that whole boxing ring, right, with all the ladies and that close up on you, where like, I felt like I've never been domestically abused before, but like I felt like your heart was about to come through your throat.
Absolutely.
Like so. How? Like, where does that come from? Like, how do you prepare for something? Or nothing too is that how do you also prepare for something to also give actresses, some type of like, insight? How do you prepare for something that you have never pretty much went through before? And what's your process on that?
Well, there are a lot of acting techniques, and I haven't been fortunate enough to take many acting classes, but as a human being, as an artist, I observe a lot. And if you're going to be a thespian, if you're going to be an actor or an actress, you have to observe the world around you and absorb it and not be afraid to portray it, not be afraid to give it back. So when that opportunity was given to me, or, I had the ability to sign off and say I wanted to do it, I dove in. I was like, ooh, let me do some research. Let me do this. And it was more than just enough. It was more than just J-Lo and enough. It was like, let me do some real research and meet some real survivors and study their stories. And let me meet let me research some fallen angels, the ones that didn't survive, and hear their stories and just really connect as just a human being and just give it all that I can. And in my research, I was uncontrollably emotional, upset. I went through every single emotion that they went through. Happiness, being in love, being in joy, being happy. Just, oh my God, I'm so obsessed and infatuated with this person, to being physically hurt, to being verbally abused, to being beat down. And imagining someone that I once had this euphoric connection with do that to me was unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm pretty sure they believe too. Like, what?
How in God's name can that actually
happen?
How
can this happen to me?
That you in love with.
Yes.
That you can just completely just, change up. It happens to guys too. It happens to everybody, honestly.
Absolutely.
We're not just talking about women. We're talking about everybody that has been affected by this.
Exactly. And it doesn't take physical abuse only. It's verbal too.
Yeah,
so
verbal and mental,
guys get a lot of the verbal and the mental depending
definitely
on the toxic woman that they're dealing with. Because obviously, well, not obviously, there are women who hit men too. But what hurts and cuts a guy more than just a hit is getting into his mental,
Yeah.
getting into his psyche, telling him that he is less than, telling him that he's not valuable, telling him
Tell me
that he's not
a
worth,
man.
telling him that he's not a man
Yeah.
because he can't provide for you the way
Yeah.
that these men on TV can provide for you. Like, that is also abusive. And I watch my tone and my words when I speak to my brothers and the men in my life, because I don't want them to think that somebody's daughter is going to come to them and tell them that they're not worthy because they can't buy them a Birkin bag.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's abuse, and you're not going to do it to him. You're not going to belittle this one. You can go take that somewhere else. But that's a form of abuse too. But what really made me connect when doing that project was my solitude. I stayed away from people. I practiced the way that women who walk the earth, who've been abused, live. When you're abused, you sort of feel imprisoned. You feel like, who can I tell? Are they going to judge me? They're just going to tell me to leave. But there's more to that. And another thing that helped was we brought survivors in, and they told me their stories, and we cried all together.
I really feel like that environment was like
Ooh,
way too heavy.
Baby, it was hard. It's still like, I'm getting hot right now just thinking about it. It's starting to come back. It's so, their stories and being in the presence of them is like, it wasn't even about a job anymore. It wasn't like, oh, I have to do this right. I have to do this for them. It literally was what it was.
Yeah.
I was in the presence of them, so I became empathetic with them. And that's where that emotion poured out from.
I think the number one tool that actors and actresses can definitely attain from, especially with this conversation, is that empathy.
Absolutely.
To really feel what
complete vulnerability,
what your person or whoever you're portraying is pretty much going through, because that's pretty much how you definitely make that connection, that emotional connection to your viewership. So here's a question that I guess nobody really does ask, because people are just worried about like, how do you pretty much get there? Now, obviously you know about Heath Ledger, right? Remember?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's my guy.
So listen, so when he was doing the Batman movie, he was really, as you knew, he was really into it to the point where he actually had to take like psych meds. I think did he overdose? That's what happened.
I don't
want to like talk out of turn or whatever.
No, I think he did. They ruled it a suicide, but it was
So my question is that with so many people who do these type of like hard and like heavy roles, when you try to connect, how do you get out of it?
Family, friends, people being there for you. Because I go into it with my solitude, depending on what the character needs.
Yeah.
Just so that I can break all of Shan down and just let this person, like, feel this person. Because in order to be a really true, amazing artist, as far as acting, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. You have to become. And if you don't do that, it's going to read.
Yeah.
It's going to read on film. It's going to read on set. It's going to read in an audition. It's going to read in a self-tape. It's going to read. You have to that's why they give you so much time to prepare before you actually shoot. That's why these movies take so long to come out, the great ones, because you have to really engulf and embody that character, that world, that time, that era, whatever, in order to make it true. Essentially, you become that person. And with him, to get out of that, for me, there's no medication in the world. I have to be around people who love me. I have to be around people who can check me. And that's another thing. A lot of artists don't like to be checked. Check me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of that, because I don't want to lose my mind in this. Acting takes a lot of mind power. Like, you have to convince yourself to be an entire different person, to the point that you are that person, or to the point that you can, in an instant, when they say cut, snap out of it. You know?
There was I forgot exactly what movie it was, but it was like a horror film, and man, like they actually had like therapists like on set. What movie was it?
13 Reasons Why.
There you go.
Because
I'm getting chills right now.
That can break a person.
Yeah.
It's like being around a negative. It's you, and then being around a negative energy all the time. Your shadow is the negative energy. Wherever you go, it happens. Whether you're on set, whether you have an off day, whether you're at home or whatever, you have to shake that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're in these projects, they take a long time. So you carry that energy for as long as that project is shooting. And then once it's done shooting, it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just like, oh, thank God I'm done. It's like, it stays with you. I still go through withdrawals from a play that I did in Alcatraz a month ago, 2 months ago. It was so hard. I go through withdrawals with the process. I go through withdrawals with the mind of my character, with the mind of other characters, with my castmates. Like, I miss them. I'm like, but I can't be around you right now because you're kind of going to remind me
and it's everything's gonna be like, it's a lot of sentimental things, and a lot of like, past, like, experiences you had when you were acting with them, because it does travel through, basically.
It does. But you have to have a strong mind. And for me, just being around, like picking up the phone, because I don't have family in California, but picking up the phone, hearing like my father, my brothers, my nephews, like seeing them, it brings me back to Shan.
I got you. Do you have a lot of friends? I feel like you don't. Which is not a problem. I don't either. So.
I don't use the term friends too lightly.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, my friends are like my family.
Okay, I got you.
I grew up with them. Blood couldn't make us any closer. And I only have maybe 3 or 4 of them at this point.
Because I feel like the process of being an actress, can be a lonely process, even though it's like everybody's together, and the the process and like the production and everything else too is like, I don't know. I get this, like, even though like you're all about family, but at the same time, I feel like I get this like this lone ranger about you. Like,
because I like to protect my energy. I like to protect my energy. I like to protect anything that's around me, and it doesn't even necessarily mean just people. It's certain places I won't go to. You will never catch me in a strip club. You will never catch me unless there's a business deal. Then that's something different.
Hosting, hey, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw that bag real quick.
But seriously, like there are certain places you won't catch me around. There are certain people you won't catch me around. I make it a point, because now that I'm starting to, somewhat rise in this industry, when certain celebrities reach out or say something or want to link up, I'd be like, no. Because you're not going to catch me like that. I got you. TMZ is not going to be like, I'm not going to say a name because I don't want to say a name. Oh, so-and-so was seen out with a new girl, and then I become this new girl with no name. And then when I come up, when I make it 3 years, 2 years from now, they're going to revert back to 2 years ago. So-and-so was seen with so-and-so. No, you're not going to Faith Evans me. Not no Tupac and Faith Evans. That's what we're not going to do. That's why I don't take pictures with who I know. I stay away from that. I'm friendly via text, via social media, in person. But when it comes to like your limelight, I don't want to be introduced to this industry through your limelight. I don't want it to be like, oh, the only reason why she's on is because
you have your
was
lane
with
to begin with. So whenever you're ready to pretty much, get to your destination, it needs to be your lane.
Absolutely. And as a woman, I deserve that.
First of all, that's actually very, very important for us, like a woman's side, because I feel like in the industry, women, and correct me if I'm wrong, women do, because I know you will, women do feel like they have to be pretty much be put on from other people and other men, where it's like, no, you don't really need to. You just need to just or do XYZ or extracurricular activities to get a certain way. But nah, you really don't. You just need to stay in your lane and just realize whenever your destination or whenever you get to that point, your breaking point is going to happen.
Yes, you know what it is? Women have a thing with time. Women have a thing with
no time, no patience, no nothing.
Yeah, I have to be married by this age. I have to have a kid by this age. I have to be on by this age, or I'm not going to do it anymore.
So their integrity is compromised.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh no, she does not fold for nobody. I don't fold for anybody.
So that kind of answers my question, because I'm like, I look at you and I look at like your process and pretty much what you're going through, and like I know you're working. I know you're working, but I don't think that you are either you don't want to, or you're pretty much just not ready to really, really show the Shan Moreno process? Because you're very, very particular.
Yeah, about what I post.
About what you post and what you show and everything
Absolutely.
else too. You know, because remember I told you earlier before this podcast, like, hey, you know, you should do your podcast, and you kind of like, you're like, oh, I don't really know if I should. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, is that on purpose?
It is intentionally.
Okay.
And I will. This is the first time I'm ever admitting this, but I will say that just because I don't post it doesn't mean that I don't document it. I've been vlogging my journey.
Oh, really?
For the past
That was what
year.
I was fucking worried about.
No, I've been vlogging it.
Is she documenting her shit? Because I know you're doing so much dope shit. But like,
I definitely do.
Pray to God that like you were like, okay.
It's intentional because the moment that you post things, people from out of the woodwork start coming. And you're like, bro, I haven't spoken or seen you in years. Where are you coming from? Oh, because I'm next to Spike Lee. Oh, because I'm next to I'm about to say Tiana Taylor because I'm next to this person, or like, no, I don't need. That's the energy, going back to it, that I don't want around.
I really do admire and definitely appreciate like your way about handling your journey, because a lot of people, especially in your position, even before, maybe even after, they would flex for the gram and they would like post that picture with Tiana Taylor, and they will post that picture like, nah, like you're just pretty much just like doing you.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really refreshing for a person to pretty much have that mentality in a city that does not have that mentality. In LA. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Everybody's trying to flex and do skits and stuff like that, but like
I've been offered to do certain things that I know girls or anybody would take like that. I'm like, nope.
When you moved to like LA, I thought I was about to see you in like with King Bach and like all those people, but like you were just
that's not my swag. That's not my thing. I don't do skits. I don't do, I have done music videos, but there was always a storyline to it.
No, of course. You just ain't gonna do it just to do it.
No, like, because this artist,
I got you.
No way, Jose. There better be a storyline. It better have substance to it, because I'm not gonna be one of those girls just shaking cheeks.
Yeah, I got you.
I have a career. It's not about the flex for me. It's about the longevity.
I got you. Definitely. Like, the journey at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So since we brought up LA, LA, how is LA?
I love LA.
Yeah.
I love it. I get so much work done. I can't necessarily say the people are great because, like I said, I'm always like, I protect my energy. But for me, LA feels like home.
Do you feel like you're like with a person who is just so protective and cherishes their energy, that do you feel like sometimes like you're splitting yourself apart?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because it's like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to do these skits and these movies and all that. I know this is going to be good for me.
Yeah.
But my energy is not really telling me to do this. So my energy telling me to pull back.
The moment that my intuition kicks in and I ask God for guidance all the time, whether I'm waking up in the morning, going to sleep at night, whether I have to make a decision to make a deal or something, I say, Lord, just give me like guidance.
Yeah.
Give me sure guidance. Give me an actual sign, and it happens, because I can want something, but I need to know that this is going to come back tenfold in a positive direction, not just for the moment now. These video shoots, they pay these girls hundreds, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That's money that I can definitely use. I'm a starving artist at this point in my life, but if it has anything to do with compromising my integrity, hypersexualizing me, or doing something that when I come home, my parents are going to be like,
really?
Or
you come home to that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because my peoples are 100.
They'll check you. They'll check you.
Yeah, they're going to keep it a buck. They're going to be like,
yeah.
And this is how you want to put us on?
That's so amazing that like your family's not about like the dollar bills and chasing dollars, because there's so many families and contemporaries and so many friends is like, man, boo, listen, I know that's not your thing, but yo, go get your check, girl. Yo, nah. Like, cause if you basically chase that dollar, you're going to be chasing that dollar forever. You're not going to be chasing that passion.
Forever.
And then guess what?
You're going to get sick and tired because not enough money in the world is going to be enough for what you're doing.
And it's not going to fulfill your purpose, basically.
Exactly. A lot of people are walking around purposeless. They just chasing the Instagram hype, the
Yeah.
likes, the this, the that. I'm like, you can keep all that. I
Yeah.
know I look good, shorty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to.
I got you.
I don't have to flex on anybody to be up. I don't have to do anything that's gonna compromise who I am or my family. Like I said, my family will check me, and even if they don't, my own spirit is going
You have a
to,
moral compass in you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
My own spirit is going to be like, when I come home, like, dang, I know exactly what I had to do to bring the bag home to my family. They don't know.
Were there certain things that you have done in the industry, as far as like roles and like, you know, being a part of certain things that you were like, damn, you know what, I shouldn't have done that?
No,
Oh, really? Okay.
no.
Okay.
There was a recent one that I was like, I signed up for it, but I had to pull out.
Good.
I had to pull out because it was not sitting. My intuition
Yeah.
kicked in
Yeah,
heavy.
I've-
It was like, no.
I really do tell people at the end of the day is like, hey, listen, like your gut is like your teller of all
Yes,
your tales.
it really
so
is.
if your guts tell you, do not do this,
Don't force
do
it.
it. You know, don't force it. You know,
because you're gonna regret it in the long run. But yeah, I most certainly recently turned down something because I knew that it would just misrepresent me as an artist.
Got you.
And if you misrepresent me as an artist, that messes with me personally. So you
And you're doing
misrepresent
yourself and the work the injustice. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily you too, but like if you are not actually for that role and you just do it, you're actually doing that role a disservice.
I do that. Can I tell you
Go
that
ahead,
that
go ahead, yeah.
was my exact response when I turned the offer down?
Yeah, I got you.
I was like, I don't think I can be of service to you because this role is not for me. I cannot, not that I cannot, it's just there's a better artist out there for this. And the time and place for me is not right now. I can't do that.
Got it. So, man, this is, I don't know.
I know.
Like, this is great, definitely. We got a couple minutes left, but I wanted to ask you to give some insight to a person who is at your same level, the person that is behind your level, basically, like trying to pretty much come up, and a person too that is above your level, and you see the type of fuck shit that they're doing, and you're like, yo, like you shouldn't do. Like, give me like the 3 levels of like the advice that you would give that person. First, starting off with a person who is at your level, what advice you would give them as a actress?
Let's link up.
Okay.
Let's link up and get this bread.
Okay.
Let's get this money. Let's figure out a way to bring the industry back to what it used to be. Because right now we're just replicating BS, and it can be better. It can be better. The industry can be a whole lot better. We can come up with better and more newer stories. We don't have to say the same thing. We don't have to give the same stories.
We're waiting for you, Miss Director. We're waiting for you.
I'm saying they're different.
Like,
there's nothing new under the sun, right? And we have stories that have already been told, but we have stories that have already been told through one perspective.
Yeah.
That's why I personally, like, my end goal is to be a Marvel villain. And a villain specifically because...
My first name is Marvel. Oh, that's good.
That's why I was like, is this your name?
Yeah, it is my name.
Like,
I
literally.
made the friggin' company, so, I mean, hello.
Shut up.
Come on now.
No, but my end goal is to be a Marvel villain because I feel like superheroes, their stories have already been told.
Yeah.
They're safe. They're like, okay, cool. I like superheroes too, but like, why is this person this way? Why did the Joker become the Joker? What happened in his childhood? I'm more interested in his story.
There's a lot more layers to be peeled off.
Nobody just
with
is
the villain.
born evil
no,
and, trying to take over like the good guy. No, what happened to this person? That's why I love, and I'm definitely going to see Maleficent too, because the first one was like, oh my God, it makes so much sense why she did this. Like, it's her story is different, but it's the same story. It's the story of Sleeping
Favorite
Beauty.
villain?
My the Joker, all day.
Okay.
All day. But the Joker played by Heath.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Him. Because I don't know about the other ones.
I would say that definitely is like the common, like, pick or whatever. Me? Bane.
What?
So, Bane?
You don't like Thanos?
Huh?
You don't like Thanos?
No, Thanos is amazing.
He's a little too intense. I don't want to be. I would love to be a villain, but I
would say like the fifth one. Yeah, top 5. Okay, Thanos is top 5 for me.
He's intense.
Bane is the type of person that, like, the reason why I kind of like connected with him so much is whatever, because like he's like this person that's like 7 foot tall, big as hell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And is an evil mother lover, but his voice is so like so scratchy and so like yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Let the games begin. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Those people
like,
can't be trusted.
Huh?
Those people can't
That's
be
what I'm
trusted.
saying.
You're big and you have a small voice.
You
I
have
can't
small
trust
voice
you.
or whatever.
Who are you?
Like,
who raised you?
Like for real. And then it's crazy though. But okay, that's good. Yeah, Joker's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
I'm cool with him.
all right, so
So the people on my level,
yes,
let's link up.
okay.
Let's try and
the people behind you,
the people that are up and coming.
yes.
Keep working at it because it's real out. Like, I can't express this enough. Go and live life. Go and live outside of your city, outside of your community, because a lot of people get stuck thinking that where they grew up is the world. They make it seem like they don't have 7 other continents.
Yeah.
Like, go live and experience life and understand that everything that you see is attainable. Go be great, because life is limitless.
Yeah.
And if life is limitless, you're a reflection of life. You're limitless.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So go. The people who are above. And you said and are compromising themselves.
Well, I'm just people who are above that you feel like who are making it, but they, from your perspective, from your energy perspective, that like, you know, like especially like no names obviously, but like you look at one person, one actress is like, yo, you're doing the damn thing, but like I want to like be able to like tell you something, like to like warn you, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of advice would you give somebody who is like on that level?
It's probably, if they're that successful, they're probably doing the right thing regardless.
Okay.
Hopefully they're just, my advice, I guess, would be make the right choice beyond yourself, because it's not just about you. You're going to have younger kids. You're going to have adults your age who aren't necessarily as successful as you are, looking up to you. And that's the greater, bigger purpose. Like, live, of course, you're one person, but with success comes a lot of responsibility. And don't be irresponsible. Like, don't compromise yourself. Don't be irresponsible. Don't be irresponsible, because you have a lot of people looking up to you. If you're successful, you're
the beacon of light, so you gotta shine bright and shine appropriately.
Yes.
You know, definitely.
Yeah, that's my advice.
Okay. What does No Way But Up mean to you?
No Way But Up.
The brand, the name.
The name, I actually like. No Way But Up. That's the motto. That's the motto. That's my motto, at least. So I actually appreciate it, because I don't go backwards. I go backwards for research if I have to, or to tap into a certain thing, but nothing that you leave behind is really worthy of bringing towards the future and your future. Nice. It ain't no way but up.
Nice. Well said. This has been amazing. Like, for real. I want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by. Just giving insight just on your life and your journey, and for other people as well too. And we definitely gonna kick it this week as well too, right? Hey. And we gonna get it going. Before we do wrap up, I need your shameless plugs. Go right ahead after your Millie Rock. You see me? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So your Instagram, everything. Tell them where they can find you.
What up, y'all? Let me stop. That's my radio voice. Let me stop. Hey, what's up? My name is Shan Moreno. You can follow me on IG at I am Shan Moreno. That's IAMSHANMORENO. I'm on Twitter. I'm a little philosopher on Twitter. Okay. But my Twitter name is Original SLM. Okay. Cool. That's it.
Shan, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. No Way But Up.
Yep.